Hello, Eagle basketball fans, and welcome to our first telecast of varsity boys basketball right here on your neighborhood network, Cable 12, as Franklin County brings their 4-7 record into tonight's contest, facing a 7-4 Lord Botetourt Cavaliers squad. Had a great JV game, went down to the wire. Lord Botetourt holding on to pick up the win there. Joined tonight, Derek Woods. Derek, we're meeting here in the Blue Ridge District. You know, Franklin County lost a close one a little bit earlier in the season. Wednesday night, a little bit of a tough situation against defending state champions in Northside. So they're looking to get back on the right track here.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Looking to get things back into the left-hand column there in the scorebook against a pretty good Botetourt team. They're sound. They do the small things, the fundamentals right. You talk about that Northside team, I think, defending state champions, right? So tough go the other night. But, you know, they went out and picked up a big win against Cosby over the Christmas break. A good trip and always a good win when you can beat a good Cosby team that year in and year out is a potential playoff team. So we'll see what they've got tonight. You know, Franklin County will be excited to get back here home at Central Gym. And we'll see what they come out with.
You know, you look at this Franklin County squad under the head coaching direction of Tom Herring. 7 seniors on this squad, including Tyshawn Ziegler, Hunter Kennedy, Noah Schaefer. You go on down, you got Evan Hahn, Jake Wright, Richard Law, Jacob Stockton. So a lot of young men who have been on this squad for several years, looking to get this thing turned around for the Eagles. Couple of deep playoff runs over the last couple of years. As you said, picked up the big win over Cosby over the weekend. You flip it over and you look at this Lord Botetourt team with head coach Andrew Hart, a name that you will remember back from football season. Number 3, James Ryan Salvey, played quarterback for that Lord Botetourt team. He's a senior on this squad, along with Luke Hale, Michael Sutherland, Mason Wheeling, and Cody Camper and Cruz Jones. So about 5 seniors on this squad for Lord Botetourt. I think it's going to be whichever team can get that momentum early. I'm
sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No doubt about it. I think, as you were saying before I just wonderfully interrupted you, I apologize for that. Both of these teams are going to want to get out in front. You know, 2 fairly evenly matched groups. You know, Franklin County 4-7, Botetourt 7-4. But the key is going to be how both teams start the basketball game, and they're both, I feel like, going to look out to come out of the gates wide open, pushing the pace, and try to get some points on the board early.
That's right. We've got about 3 minutes before we'll tip this game off. We're going to take a quick break, step aside, and we'll be back to introduce tonight's starting lineups and tip off this game here in the Blue Ridge District. Now we're introducing the starters for tonight's contest. First for the Cavaliers of Lord Botetourt, we're going to have number 2, Logan Bramblett. He's a guard, 5'7", junior. Got number 4, Kyle Arnholt. He's a forward, 6'3", junior. For this Cavalier team, number 11, Tanner Selkirk. He's a guard, 6'1", junior. Number 21, Luke Hale, forward, 6'1", senior. On this Cavalier squad at number 34, Connor Tilley. He's a guard, 6 foot, sophomore. So we've got some senior leadership and some young players for this Cavalier team. Flipping it over for your Franklin County Eagles. Their starting lineup includes number 4, Tyshawn Ziegler. He's a guard, senior, 5'10". Also going to have number 10, Kalik Witcher. He's a guard, 5'7", junior. Number 20, Hunter Kennedy. He's a guard, 6 foot, senior. Number 33, Desmond Hudson. He's a forward, 6 foot, junior. And number 40, Richard Law. He's going to be the big man in the middle, a 6'7", senior for this Eagle team. You look at the size, Franklin County on the inside is going to have the advantage for much of the night. You've got a strong player in Hunter Kennedy. You've got a presence in number 40, Richard Law. And then you've got some speed on the outside with Tyshawn Ziegler, Desmond Hudson, and Kalik Witcher. So the size-wise, Franklin County matches up well against this Lower Botetourt team.
Yeah, definitely a very good matchup in the size department, no doubt about it. But anytime you're running out a 6'7" kid here at the varsity level in high school, you're going to have a size advantage. We'll see. It looks like Botetourt going with a 3-guard lineup, a couple of forwards, so they may look to expose some of that size with a little bit of quickness. Maybe just a little bit of play there from Coach Andrew Hart, counter to the size of Franklin County to come out with some quickness. But you said it, Hunter Canada, he's a player. All these other guys with Witcher, Ziegler, and Hudson, these guys can get it done, and you know they'll be ready to get up and down the court.
Absolutely. Meeting in midcourt. We're going to have Richard Law for the Eagles. It looks like we're going to have Connor Tilley. Nope, actually it's going to be Kyle Arnholt for the Cavaliers. We talked about it a little bit in the pregame, Derek, getting out to a fast start, having the opportunity to put points on the board, getting kind of a little bit of momentum going is going to be important for both of these two teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We'll see here what happens as they're just about ready to put the basketball in the air and tip this thing off.
Got our blind guys going to be making all the wonderful calls here tonight, Derek. Brought to you by the good folks at Budget Blinds. A style for every season, style for every point of view. Again, Budget Blinds, the gift you can open each and every day of the year. Franklin County going to control the opening tip-off. Ziegler is going to dump it off to Hudson, who quickly gets it in the corner to Witcher. Law from the free throw line. Short arms that one off the front of the iron, and Botetourt quickly looking to work in transition.
Well, Franklin County got what they wanted that time down the court, and Law was open to that little free throw line extended jump shot just a little bit short, as you mentioned.
Witcher works the ball across midcourt, dumps it off to Ziegler. Good movement here early by the Eagles, looking for the open man. Good active hands there by Arnholt to poke that one away, but first points of the night going to go to Tyshawn Ziegler.
That was a good play there by Ziegler, catching up with that basketball. Was knocked away initially. Good look by Kennedy dumping it down in there. Ziegler able to stay with it. Eagles come out in that full court man-to-man press after the made basket.
First points of the night puts Franklin County on top 2-0. 7 minutes left to play here in the first quarter. Starting off with a fast and furious pace on both ends. Cavaliers will turn that one over. Law with the steal. Franklin County will slow things down, working in the half court as Ziegler will put the offense into motion, work it around to Canada.
Get an offensive foul here. Looks like moving screen, Kevin. They're going to catch Desmond Hudson there.
33, Desmond Hudson.
That's going to be his first team foul of the half. We'll give the ball back over to the Cavaliers as Tilley will inbound to Bramblett, who's going to run the point. Quickly works his way around Witcher. Back to Tilley. Has that one poked away. Active hands by Hudson. Franklin County will look to push.
Yeah, Hudson wasting no time here down the court. He'll get the bucket. Rewarded for those hands on defense.
It's going to push the Eagle lead out to 4. 4-0, 6:15 left to play here in the first quarter. If you're just joining us, fast and furious pace from the tip. And a 3 will rim out there. No good for the Cavaliers. Franklin County an opportunity to extend this lead out. Good solid possessions the last couple of times up the court.
Yeah, you've had a couple of good defensive possessions. A really good job there getting the rebound on that missed 3, but the Eagles turn it over.
Tilley works it out to Bramblett. Back to Tilley. He fires the long 3. Great rotation on that ball. And no doubt about that one. That'll be the first points of the evening for Botetourt.
Stepped right into that one as Tilley squared it up at the top of the arc and drained it. Back-to-back turnovers now for Franklin County. Going to let Botetourt have an opportunity here to take the lead and get right back in this basketball game.
We talked about getting out and getting the early momentum, taking the lead early, but now you've got to keep it. Botetourt's pulled within 1 opportunity here. Defense starts to lack on this end. Arnholt with his first 2 points, and just like that, Botetourt takes their first lead of the game.
And that was a smooth dish there by Bramblett as he dumped it right off to Arnholt, and he laid it in easily.
Franklin County will look to settle down in the offensive end. Kennedy's going to come off the screen. Jumper, no good off the front of the iron. Foul's going to be called. Looks like they're going to hit Tanner Selkirk with his first, team first.
Yeah, Hunter Kennedy coming off that screen, just a little curl over on the left wing there. Good, confident shot as he was touched on the elbow.
He'll sink the first. Evens the score back up at 5. Kennedy will prepare to shoot the second. That'll be off the back of the iron.
Offensive rebound, those. Law comes away with it, sticks it in.
That'll be his first 2 points of the game, and quickly Franklin County jumps back out. 7-5, 4:56 left to play here in the first.
Good job by Franklin County crashing the boards there on that missed free throw. Uncharacteristic missed free throw for Hunter Kennedy, but Law right there on the spot.
A little bit of a heat check there from Tilly. Offensive board pulled down by Bramblett. Kicks it around to Hale. That one's off target. Law pulls down the rebound, and Franklin County another opportunity here. Get a good solid possession. Get a good look at the basket. You don't have to rush. 4:30 left to play in the first, and possibly extend this lead out.
Good drive to the basket there by Elliott. Unable to score, and it was quickly seen Botetourt. They've put up 3 3-pointers already here in this first quarter, and there's the fourth.
Arnholt will sink that one. He now has 5 points. And Botetourt will put themselves back in the lead, 8-7 with 4 minutes left to play here in the first.
What a great pass right there, getting the ball down to Law. Good job, Franklin County. You can see them working their offense. They want to get that basketball down inside the lane area before they shoot, as opposed to Botetourt, who's been settling for some 3-pointers.
Tyshawn Ziegler's going to take this one coast to coast. Does not fall. Offensive board pulled down by Hudson. Kennedy, he's going to fire a long one. That's going to be off the front of the iron. And it will bounce into the hands of Kyle Arnholt. Botetourt's quickly going to work it around. Pull-up jumper here. 10-foot jumper falls. As Arnholt now has a quick 7 points.
And that's a tough shot. That little mid-range jumper is tough at any level, but a great job by Kyle Arnholt.
Ziegler, good pass inside to Elliott. Elliott faces the basket, short arms that one, picks up his own offensive board, turns it over, and Bramblett looks to push the offense. As Arnholt top of the key, back to Bramblett, dumps it off. A little bit too aggressive on the defensive end are the Eagles, and Luke Hale will extend the lead out.
I'll tell you what, Logan Bramblett can really move with the basketball, and he does a good job dropping those assists down to the guys. He finds the open man, especially when Botetourt's able to work free along the baseline. That young man does a great job.
Steal underneath the basket by Tilly. Quickly going to work it out to Hale. Bucket's going to be good. Actually, that's going to be Selkirk with his first 2 points. And just like that, 14-9. Cavaliers are on top. 2:23 left to play here in the first. Good time out here by the Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They've kind of let this one get away from them a little bit here with 2:23 to go here in the opening quarter. Really, we're hanging in there tough, playing well, and trading baskets back and forth. But the Franklin County's put a couple of turnovers together in back-to-back possessions, and Botetourt is taking advantage of those now.
The Cavaliers were living and dying by the 3 early in this ball game. They've had 2 fall, and just like that, they put themselves in position to have a 5-point lead. Think if you're Franklin County, you've got to find ways to have good possessions. They've got lots of good movement on the offensive end, but you can't give up those easy steals. You can't have a lazy pass underneath the basket. You've got to put yourself in a good opportunity to score.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And early on they were. The difference here as of late is those turnovers.
Bryce Witcher working his ball way across midcourt. Owen Price has checked in for the Cavaliers. It's also Jacob Stockton and Emilian Holland checking in. Going to be a long 3 there.
Bryce Witcher right in the game, getting 3 points for Franklin County, kind of stopping the bleeding a little bit initially here.
We'll cut the lead to just 2. Inside of 2 minutes left to play. Good
Great pass.
You said it there, Derek. No doubt about that pass underneath the basket. The rocket coming in.
Oliver, the recipient of that one from Selkirk.
These two teams keeping the Franklin Finance scoreboard hot so far in this one. Already a combined 28 points in the first 6.5 minutes of play.
Defense ratcheted up a little bit here for the Cavaliers on their end as Franklin County continues to run this offense and work the ball around.
Witcher cuts through the defense, little scoop, but does not score. Get back on defense. Prince going to work it up the floor to Selkirk. Into the corner, can't handle it is Oliver, and the Cavaliers will turn this one over.
Yeah, it got a little sloppy that time in transition, trying to get a little too cute. Arnholt, kind of a underhanded shovel out to the corner, and it gets away and out of bounds. Quickly, Botetourt switches to that 2-3 zone.
You got a different 5 on the floor for the Eagles. I don't know if that's a game plan. Depending on which set Franklin County has on the floor, that's going to be a long 3 by Elliott. Does not fall.
But a good look, and it's what you're going to get against the 2-3 zone.
Good inside-out play there. Finger roll, nothing. But the back board there for Wheeling. His first 2 points.
That was a smooth move by that young man as well. 6'6" senior on this Botetourt team.
Long rebound pulled down by James Ryan Salvey, who's also checked in the ball game for the Cavaliers. He's going to work his way around Jacob Stockton, who's playing great defense, pokes it away, a lot of contact. Witcher comes away with it, it's going to dump it up. Good positioning there by Samir Elliott for his first 2 points, shielding off the defender and cutting the lead to just 4 with 2 seconds left to play here in the quarter. That'll be a long 3, does not fall. 1 quarter of play in the books. Franklin County found themselves in a 4-point hole, 18-14, the Cavaliers lead. Going to be right back. You're watching Eagle Basketball right here on your neighborhood network, Cable 12. Back now to start the second quarter of play with Lord Botetourt on top, 18-14. It was all Franklin County to start this ball game, went back and forth for much of the first, and then just a slim 4-point lead to start the second quarter for the Cavaliers. They're also going to start the second quarter with the basketball.
Well, Botetourt is really picked up the pace on the offensive side, moving the basketball around. There's a good drive to the basket by Arnholt. It is missed but put back. But that's the difference. That second half of that opening quarter, Botetourt really picked up the ball movement on their side on offense and able to build a little bit of a lead.
Continue to work the ball inside, back out to Kennedy. Works it around to Stockton. He's going to fire the 3. That's going to be his first points of the night. Pulls Franklin County within 3.
Yep, good-looking shot there by Stockton. Good job by Hunter Kennedy, driving the basketball towards the rim and then kicking it back out. See if the Eagles can get a stop on defense here. They haven't had one for a little while. And they will.
Ball's going to come away with the rebound, works it back out to Kennedy.
I tell you, that's a good matchup down inside with Kyle Arnholt and Richard Law. It's 2 big kids that know how to play the game. It's fun to watch them go at each other down on the low block.
Works it around the outside to Witcher, kind of isolate him on the far side. But tight defense being played by Bramblett. Witcher's able to work his way around him. Kind of stops his movement and is able to pick up the bucket. He now has 5 points.
You like to call that a European step, but it wasn't at all. No jump at all, just took his 2 steps, kept that bottom foot on the ground. Able to lay it in. Franklin County with a turnover on defense. Got the ball back with a chance to take the lead here.
Kennedy's going to work off the screen. Draws the triple team. They work it back out to him.
Franklin County's offense, a lot of standing around watching right now. Got to get back into what they were doing a little earlier, moving around without the basketball.
And have a foul called on the play. I believe it's going to be on 21, Luke Hale. Wait for the official call from the blind guys. It is. That'll be his first, second team foul of the half. Checking in for Franklin County, Tyshawn Ziegler making his return, as does Desmond Hudson for the Eagles. Also going to have number 5, Dylan Salvey, check in for the Cavaliers.
Good work on the offensive glass that time by Richard Law, able to pick up the contact. A little up and under there.
It's going to be Kalik Witcher able to pull down his own rebound. They'll work it back out to Ziegler. He takes a drive to the basket. He picks up his third and fourth point, and Franklin County regains the lead 21-20.
Eagles tightening up a little bit there on the defensive side this possession.
Good pass underneath the basket. Nothing but an open shot there for Selkirk as he now has 4 points. Cavaliers regain the lead 22-21. One guy is going to conversate, but the foul's going to be called on Dylan Salvey. That'll be his first third team foul.
Andrew Hart wanting that to be an offensive foul, saying that Ziegler had that lead arm out in front, pushing off. Salvey all up in the grill of Tyshawn Ziegler, though, out at the top of the key.
Ziegler makes the most of that one, now has 6 points. Franklin County puts the lead back in their favor, 23-22. Foul on the other end.
Yeah, that was a good drive to the basket there by Selkirk. Hunter Kennedy up tight on him out around the three-point line. Selkirk puts the ball on the floor with the left hand, gets to that lane and draws the foul.
That'll be the first on Kennedy, second team foul of the half. First by Selkirk is no good. Also get a good look there at the Eagles' nest. The student section in full force.
What's the theme tonight?
Well, it can't be VDOT because there's way too much movement going on. I'm going to say that they're representing, must be Town of Rocky Mount Public Works because they're always out working in full force all day, all night. So that's what we're going to go with here tonight, Garrett.
Somebody's going to be upset because they got an actual road cone out there that somebody's wearing. So
Richard Law pull-up jumper down the baseline. Does not fall. Selkirk quickly looks to push it up. Too hard to handle for Matt Oliver.
It was a good look, though, there by Selkirk, and Oliver filling that lane. He just put a little too much heat on it.
This ball game tied up at 23 with 4 minutes left to play in the first half.
Cavaliers switched back to the zone defense.
Hey, we'll give Kennedy the three. That's his 4th point. Franklin County jumping out 26-23 here with 3:45 left. Looks like Franklin County, the pace of play for the Eagles has slowed down a little bit. And now we're starting to see the Cavaliers slow down to match that as Mason Wheeling puts that one in off the glass.
And a sweet little fadeaway jumper by the 6'6" senior. Laid that one softly up off the corner.
It's going to be last touch by the Cavaliers, so we'll stay with Franklin County. It's hard to believe that pace that we started the ball game with was going to be able to continue throughout the entirety of this first half. Witcher works it into Kennedy, back out to Ziegler.
Yeah, Kennedy was open immediately. If Witcher could have gotten the ball a little sooner, I think Kennedy could have got a shot up in the lane.
Rebound pulled down by Tilley. 3 minutes left to play here in the half. Tilley fires that one. Does not fall. Salvey.
They'll say Salvey kicked it while he was on the floor.
I can believe it. Young
I
man.
would. Why not?
All over the basketball anytime it hits the floor.
He sure is. I tell you, as a coach, that's what you like to see. That basketball on the floor. You know, Botetourt had 2 guys immediately down there fighting for it.
It's like a 2-3 zone here for the Cavaliers. Franklin County's going to take some quick passes to try and break this zone.
That's what you need to do. Inside out against the zone. Open up the free shot. Eagles settling to throw it over top of the zone.
Going to be a cheap foul called there on Hudson. That will be his second. 13th foul of the half. Checking in for Franklin County, number 23, Noah Schaefer, as well as number 50, Jacob Stockton. Going to be a steal by the big man, Law. Good positioning, easy 2 points there. That's just court awareness by your big center underneath there, getting the steal in transition.
How about the big fella using that left hand going down the court, dribbling the basketball?
Contact there, foul's going to be called. That's going to be on 50, Jacob Stockton. That'll be his first, fourth team foul. Give Law a breather and bring in Emilian Holland. Mason Wheeling will check out for the Cavaliers. Good rotation there. Good positioning, good patience by Arnholt. Picks up his 9th point.
Yeah, that was a good look there to find Arnholt underneath. He was able to get a little separation from Holland. A little too many steps getting started that time for Noah Schaefer as the Eagles will turn it over. Hey, up 1:55 to go here in the opening half. A great high school basketball game.
A bit of a touch pass there by Prince. Teammate did not go in the same way he thought he was going to go.
Only touched the baseline when it went out of bounds.
So 1:45 left to play here in the half. 55 points combined, just 7 fouls between these two squads. Good change of pace there by Ziegler. Gets that one to fall. He now has 8 points on the night.
Man, that young man can play. He is quick. He's got some hops as well, and a good touch. Talking about a touch. Owen Prince from deep ties the basketball game up here at 30.
That's his first bucket of the night, and it's a big one. As we approach 1 minute left to play in the first half. See if Franklin County decides to hold for the last shot, which they do not. That'll be off the back of the iron. Board pulled down by Arnholt. They will quickly work it up. Good save there. James Ryan Salvey fires up to the 3. Jacob Stockton pulls down the board. And now 50 seconds left as Franklin County will go on the offensive end.
Yeah, you expect the Eagles to take a little bit of time off the clock here as they work it around. Tie ball game late. Good drive to the basket there. Will be tipped out of bounds. Stay with Franklin County now with 35 seconds. Kevin, do the Eagles try to get a quick one here or try to run this thing out and hold it for the last shot?
I think you're going to see Franklin County take the first good look they get. You know, that was a good cut to the basket by Schaefer. Dumped it off. A little too strong. Going to work it back in the corner to Stockton. He hits a long 2. He now has 5 points.
Good looking baseline jumper there for Stockton on the good drive and kick out by Schaefer.
15 seconds left here in the first half. You look down the baseline, that's Oliver. That bucket will be good. Ties it back up at 32 inside of 5 seconds. Long 3 here into the half. A lot of contact, will not fall. And after 2 quarters of play, we've got a doozy of a ball game here in the Blue Ridge District. Franklin County and Lord Botetourt all tied up at 32. We're going to step aside, come back. We'll recap the first half scoring and have our Rocky Mount Chiropractic halftime adjustment. You're watching Eagle basketball right here on your neighborhood network, Cable 12. At the half, we got a 32-32 ball game between the Eagles and the Cavaliers. Recapping our first half scoring. First for Lord Botetourt. They're led by Carl Arnholt with 9 points. Tanner Selkirk added 5. Oliver, Hale, Wheeling each added 4. Tilly and Prince added 3 to bring them to their halftime score of 32. You flip it over and you look at Franklin County. Their leading scorer, Tyshawn Ziegler, with 8. 5 for Bryce Witcher, 4 for Hunter Kennedy, 6 for Richard Law, 5 for Jacob Stockton, 2 for Desmond Hudson, and 4 for Hunter Kennedy, 2 for Samir Witcher. Count those up, Derek. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players scoring for Franklin County. And you match it up, 7 for the Cavaliers. These two teams have got a little bit different philosophy on the court, but really matching up well here tonight.
Yeah, no doubt about it. A very evenly matched basketball game here between the Eagles and the Cavaliers. Yeah, it doesn't get any tighter than this, right? Still tied here at the half. Anytime you can get 7 guys involved on the offensive side, you're doing a good thing. And I tell you, really impressed early on by Tyshawn Ziegler. His ability to create his own shot, handles the basketball, getting down the court, and then is able to create. He's got a couple of good assists on some scoring opportunities as well. But that young man's really playing well. Along with Richard Law, you know, we saw him get that steal out top here and went on down the court, led the fast break with that left hand, took it all the way. A couple of highlights for that young man here. In that first half, but a great basketball game, very evenly matched, and I tell you what, the second half should be really exciting.
Absolutely. Time now for our Rocky Mount Chiropractic halftime adjustment, brought to you by the fine folks at Rocky Mount Chiropractic. So we said we got an even ball game here, 32-32 at the half. Derek, what's going to have to happen for one of these two teams to break out?
Well, I think you noticed in that first half, Franklin County, when they were unable to take care of the basketball on the offensive side, they went a stretch there, had a couple of 3 possessions in a row that they turned the basketball over. Botetourt able to come right down the floor and score on those exact possessions. Able to build up a little lead. Franklin County came back from that, obviously, to tie it up here. But I think if the important thing for Franklin County in this second half is just staying calm, keeping their composure, not turning that basketball over, because this Botetourt team's too good to give too many extra opportunities on the offensive side.
Absolutely, and that's our Rocky Mount Chiropractic halftime adjustment, brought to you by the fine folks at Rocky Mount Chiropractic, Dr. Marlene Skillen and Dr. Kim Skillen, bringing the best in chiropractic care right here in the heart of Franklin County. Their office located across from the beautiful campus of Franklin County High School. So whether it's a sports injury or motor vehicle accident, or you just need that basic tune-up after the holidays, be sure to give them a call, and they can help you get or keep your head on straight. At the half, 32-32. We're going to step aside. We'll be back to start the third quarter. You're watching Eagle Basketball right here on your Neighborhood Network, Cable 12. Back now to start the second half, all tied up at 32. Franklin County is going to control the opening tip-off. See what kind of pace these two teams come out with after the halftime break.
Botetourt coming out in that 2-3 zone after the break. Hunter Kennedy trying to shoot him out of that early.
Arnholt picks up the long rebound.
Good look. Sorry.
Easy doing there for Luke Hale underneath the basket. Making that look easy.
Connor Tilley zipping that one in there.
Offensive board and put back there for Law. He now has 8 points, ties it back up at 34 apiece. Good dump off there, inside out, fires the 3. Connor Tilley now has his second 3 of the game and 6 points.
He's a good-looking ball player. I tell you, he's got high energy. Big, tall kid out here at the guard spot. but can really handle the basketball as well.
Young man, just a sophomore. Big block underneath by Selkirk. And that can really flip the momentum. We'll see if the Cavaliers can convert on the offensive end.
He's hot.
It's his third three of the ball game. He now has 9 points. Franklin County may need a timeout here to slow that young man down.
6-point lead here early in the third as Connor Tilley has come out shooting, and another turnover by the Eagles.
Jacob Stockton's going to check in. Hudson's going to check out.
Botetourt really running a good motion on this offensive side. Lots of curls around the baseline and backdoor screens.
You can tell Stockton brought it into the ball game to try and shut down Connor Tilley. Going to be poked away. Arnholt able to control it.
Good move. A little up and under there from Arnholt.
He now has 11 points. It's now an 8-point lead for the Cavaliers.
The Eagles can find a way to crack this matchup 2-3 zone.
Ziegler looks to penetrate, kicks it back out. That's a long three. That's going to be Khalik Witcher with his first three. That's a way to fire your team back up, pull the leads within 5 with 5:20 left to play. First bad look here of the second half. Hale a little bit off target there on the baseline jumper. Stockton works it around to Ziegler. Back to Stockton. Spots up in the corner. That's going to be off the front iron. Tilley comes away with the rebound.
Yeah, you could see that one early on. As soon as Stockton let it go, he knew he was going to be short. Ziegler loses his man on the other end, and it's a 7-point lead now for the Cavaliers.
It's going to be 8 points for Hale in the ball game. We approach 4:30 left to play in the third quarter.
Again, no movement at all here against this zone, and Franklin County really, their spacing is too tight. Botetourt not having to move at all.
Kennedy steps into that one, uses all of the iron, and picks up a big shot there. He now has 7. Arnholt picks up the rebound.
Great move. Luke Hale feeling it here in the second half. Went to that left hand there, Kevin.
Now has 10 points in the ball game. Lead will stay at 6 for the Cavaliers. Kennedy fires the three off the back of the iron. Selkirk comes away with the rebound. He's going to look to push quickly up. Drops it off to Arnholt. Back to the hot hand of Hale. Jump ball, possession error in favor of the Cavaliers.
Eagles with 3:41 here in the third, trailing by 6. Cavaliers have come out scoring here in the second half. Got to find a way to lock it down on defense.
The Cavaliers outscoring Franklin County 14-8. Touch foul there called on Ziegler. That'll be his first foul of the second half for either of these two teams. Bryce Witcher is going to check in. Khalik Witcher is going to check out.
Not many fouls called at all here in this ball game. A very fast-paced game and a very, athletic and physical game as well. But I think only 7 total fouls so far.
Quickly going to work it around. Bramlett in the corner. Inside to Arnholt. Look to get the position, but Law swallows that one up. 3:15 left to play here in the third quarter.
But again, just great movement on the offensive side for Botetourt.
It's going to be a pull-up jumper. Does not fall for Stockton, but it will stay with the Eagles. Last touch by Oliver.
Hunter Kennedy doing a good job there on the backside. Rebound, fighting for it, keeping possession for the Eagles. They really need to find a way to put the basketball in the hoop here on this possession.
Stockton looks to work out of trouble. Back to Witcher. 2-3 zone for the Cavaliers. Stockton's going to be blocked by Wheeling. It's going to be Cavalier basketball.
Yeah, good block there by Wheeling. Stockton got it where you want it. The soft spot of that zone is right there in the middle at that free throw line extended. But good recovery by Mason Wheeling. And at 6'6", it's pretty easy for that young man to get those long arms extended and knock that basketball away.
Ball's going to be deflected away by Ziegler. Looks to go around the defense. Draws a lot of contact. Rebound's going to be swallowed up by Wheeling. It's going to be off the Cavaliers. They will turn that one over. Franklin County's got to do a better job making each possession worthwhile.
And I tell you, both of these teams seem to get in trouble when they try to push the pace. We talked about it before the basketball game. Both teams may want to come out and do that very thing. Both teams having trouble controlling pace, and when they push it, they get a little bit sloppy with the basketball.
Richard's going to work it around to Canada, back to Bryce Witcher. Inside to Stockton, who will work it back out to the point, around to Schaefer. Excuse me, that's Mason Bowling. Checked in for the Eagles.
Got the shot they were looking for there with Law open on the baseline. He was just a little bit strong with it.
Nothing doing there for Salvi. Last touch by the Cavaliers.
Yeah, not strong with that one at all. Uncharacteristic bad shot by Salvi.
So we got 150 left to play here in the third quarter. Franklin County's found themselves in a 6-point hole after being all tied up at the half, 32-32. Good move to the bucket there. Foul's going to be called.
Yeah, good drive there by Mason Bowling.
They'll go to the line to shoot two. Wheeling
Mason Wheeling
will get his first foul, first of the half for the Cavaliers.
Mason Bowling at the line for the Eagles.
Richard Law's going to check out. Jake Wright will check in, 6'3" senior for this Eagle squad. Second will be good. We'll cut the Cavalier lead to 5. First point of the night for Bowling.
Eagles trying to pick up the intensity here on the defensive side.
Salvi's going to work it back out to Tilley. Back to Prince. Good move, good pass. Wheeling picks up his 6th point.
Yeah, that was a great looking pass again by Prince. Franklin County seems to lose contact with their man off the ball on defense, and Botetourt right now here in this third quarter has been able to expose that, getting a lot of open layups underneath.
1 minute left to play in the third quarter. Witcher's going to work it around to right, has it blocked, but will maintain. That one's going to be long. Board pulled down by Tilley. 40 seconds left. Works in the corner to James Ryan Salvi. Travel will be the call on Wheeling. Took the step before putting that ball on the floor. Derek had a lot of real estate in front of him.
Yeah, he sure did. He was making a good move to the basket. Obviously, honestly, I didn't see the extra step, but two officials blew the whistle at the same time, so you won't argue with the blind guys on that call.
Again, all the good calls, bad calls, no calls all season long. Brought to you by the good folks at Budget Blind. Style for every season, style for every point of view. So we got 48-41, 24 seconds. Foul's going to be called. That's going to be on number 5, Dylan Salvi. That'll be his second.
Foul call on number 5, Dylan Salvi.
Just a little hand touch there. The Eagles trying to hang on to the basketball here. Cut into this lead before halftime.
Wright absorbs a lot of contact. Shot doesn't fall. Numbers working in transition. That's going to be Prince off the backboard. He now has 5 points.
I'll tell you, that was a beautiful transition game there. That basketball did not touch the floor until Prince put it on the floor before the layup.
That will end the third quarter of play with the Cavaliers of Lord Botetourt on top 50-41. We're going to step aside. We'll be right back with fourth quarter action. You're watching Eagle basketball right here on your neighborhood network, Cable 12. Back now to start the fourth quarter. Not the start to this second half that Franklin County wanted. Getting outscored 18-9 there in the third, Derek.
Yeah, they sure did. Botetourt doubling up the Eagles. That's how they built up this 9-point lead. Franklin County got their work cut out for them here as Botetourt comes out in that 2-3 zone. It worked well for them in the third quarter. They'll stick with it here in the final.
As we said, this has been a fast-moving ball game already in the fourth quarter here. Haven't had a lot of fouls. That's going to be a long three. Hits all of the iron but does not fall. The Cavaliers are looking to add to this lead. Selkirk back to Bramblett. That intensity has picked back up. Floater down the lane doesn't fall for Bramblett. Rebound pulled down by Bryce Witcher. Works it up to Kalik Witcher. Absorbs the contact. No call once again. Quickly going to work it up to Hale. In transition, off the glass. 12 points now for Luke Hale. Coach Herring wanting the timeout, and he will get it. Franklin County's got to find a way to put the ball in the bucket.
Yeah, they sure do. They have not been able to crack this 2-3 zone defense. The outside shots that you generally look for against those zone defenses just aren't falling here in the second half for Franklin County, and Botetourt's just sitting in that zone, getting basically every rebound, no second chance opportunities for Franklin County. And then on the offensive end, they continue to get open looks and easy buckets and just continue to stretch out their lead.
You know, when you look at their scoring for the Cavaliers, you got Luke Hale, a quiet 12 points. You got Kyle Arnholt with 11. Connor Tilley, all three from behind the arc with his 9. Prince has 5 points up until now. Mason Wheeling coming off the bench, adding 6 points. Selkirk had 5. Oliver with 4. So a lot of guys getting involved in this offense for the Cavaliers. And it seems like it's coming in spurts, you know. This player stepping up at this point. He goes to the bench. Somebody else comes in. He picks up the hot hand. Whereas Franklin County has kind of relied on a couple of guys here in the second half to at least keep them within 11 points here, the Cavaliers.
Yeah, you see no let up, no difference at all. Really, in both teams and their substitutions, both teams very deep. But I tell you, Botetourt, you don't really notice any difference in the intensity level and the skill level of everybody that they roll into the basketball game.
Law, pull-up jumper, top of the key, does not fall.
Again, nobody on that offensive glass. A good shot by Law. It was a shot that you look for as Botetourt had gone back to the man-to-man out of the timeout.
Coach Hart on the offensive end wanting things to spread out, and that's exactly what you get. Spread the defense out. Let your ball handler do the work, and Arnholt does it just there, picks up his game-high 13th point.
Yeah, they're stretching it out. A lot of bold looks on the faces of the Botetourt Cavaliers on offense now as they can feel it as they stretch this lead out.
Foul's going to be on Luke Hale, his second, third team foul. Just joining us, fast-moving ball game. We've got 6:25 left to play in this one. Botetourt up 54-41.
Again, Botetourt pressuring the basketball no matter where they are on the court.
Good movement here by the Eagles. Just cannot find an open look. Got possession in a contested shot. Law picks up the offensive board and allows him to pick up his 10th point. Cuts that lead back to 11.
Good job underneath there by Law, cleaning up things. Haven't been able to say that much here in the second half as Arnhold's going to take it to the bucket once again. Just unable to complete the play that time.
Bryce Witcher is going to handle the basketball here with 5:30 left to play. Foul's going to be called and put Kalik Witcher on the line shooting 2.
Foul call on number 34.
It's going to be on Connor Tilley.
Connor Tilley.
That'll be his first, 4th team foul.
Billy Witcher at the line, shooting 2.
Witcher that time ready to move with the basketball when the pass came to him.
He will sink the first. He now has 4 points. Cuts the lead to 10.
This will only be the 6th free throw attempted by Franklin County in the game. Botetourt only attempted 2 to this point.
Which prepares to shoot the second. No doubt about that one. He now has 5 points. It's just a single-digit lead now for the Cavaliers. As they quickly work the ball in transition. Wheeling's going to kick it back out to Hale. They're going to spread this Eagle defense out once again, maybe get a cutting lane. Kalik Witcher's going to steal that one. Cannot hold on to it. And it will be Cavalier basketball. Tough defense here by Franklin County. Still in this ball game, Derek, down just by 9 with 5 minutes left to play.
Just got to get some stops and takeaways on the defensive side, see if you can't steal a couple extra possessions. When you do get a miss, you've got to rebound the basketball. Botetourt able to do it there and will draw the foul on Hudson.
Second team foul of the half for Franklin County. Free throw will be good by Selkirk. He now has 6 points. The lead is back to double digits for the Cavaliers. Smooth as silk there from the line. Each possession very important for the Eagles, needing to get a good look at the basket. Don't want to come away with empty possessions on turnovers or just a bad look at the basket.
And at some point, you're not going to be able to settle for trading twos and right on cue. Witcher will drain the step back 3.
8-point lead for the Cavaliers, 56-48 Franklin Finance scoreboard. 4:15 left to play. A lot of contact under the basket. Foul's going to be called.
We're going to get Jake Wright with the blocking call.
That'll be his first foul. He'll check out. Richard Law will check in. Tyshawn Ziegler checks in. Kalik Witcher will check out. It's 3 team fouls for the Eagles here in the half. Salvey will inbound to Selkirk. Works it back into Wheeling, high off the glass, doesn't fall. Foul's going to be called there on number 15, Matt Oliver. That'll be his first 5th team foul. Not what you want to do if you're Botetourt.
No, and the officials who really swallowed the whistles for most of the ball game are really making up for those calls here in the 4th quarter.
So you got an 8-point lead here with 3:45 left to play. Cavaliers with just 1 foul left to give. And there it is, as Richard Law will go to the line to shoot 2.
Well, good strong move there by Richard Law. And with this 8-point lead, Franklin County trying to take advantage of Arnholt not being in there, feeding it down low to Law.
Law will miss the front end here. Now 16 fouls in the half for the Cavaliers. Franklin County will be going to the line on each and every foul for the final 3:42 left in this one.
Could be important for Franklin County.
Law misses them both.
Doesn't do any good to get there if you can't knock them down. Two good-looking shots. Law's got a beautiful form on his shot. Just unfortunate that those two did not fall.
Foul's going to be called under the basket. Looks like they're going to hit 33. Hudson with his fourth.
Number 33, Jasmine Hudson.
Hudson didn't agree with the call whatsoever. Some of that contact they were letting go early in the ball game, they're not letting it go now.
It's his fourth personal, fourth team foul. It's also going to put Selkirk on the line shooting two, and he's going to sink the first. He now has 8 points. Opportunity to make it a 10-point lead once again, and he does just that.
Young man has taken every free throw for the Cavaliers tonight. He is 5 out of 6.
So back out to a 10-point lead for the Cavaliers with 3:15 left to play.
Eagles 4 of 8 from the charity stripe.
Kennedy forcing the issue there, felt contact, did not get the call from the blind guys. And the Cavaliers are going to slow things down with just 3 minutes left to play. Selkirk's going to work it around to Arnholt.
Every position on the floor for the Cavaliers does a good job handling the basketball.
Works it around to Salvi, back to Selkirk. They've already ran 20 seconds off of the clock.
Eagles trying to put pressure on, but I tell you, with these ball handlers on the floor for the Cavaliers, they, I tell you, are just about to run this thing all the way down to 2 minutes. What a possession for Lord Botetourt here.
And Franklin County still has 2 fouls left to give before they can stop the clock and put the Cavaliers on the line. There's going to be the first one. It's going to be on number 20, Hunter Kennedy, his second. 5th team foul. That'll stop the clock with 2:13 left to play in the fourth. Franklin County's going to take the timeout. 58-48. The Cavaliers on top. Clock starting to become a big issue for the Eagles.
Yeah, no doubt about it. With this 10-point lead, 2:13 to go there, as you see on your screen, Franklin County is going to have to get hot in a hurry, get some turnovers on defense, and get some extra possessions here. But right now, Botetourt seems to be fully in control. As you look down, see head coach Tom Herring talking to his guys, talking about pressuring out on the ball, not letting Botetourt just dribble around. And I would fully expect them to go into full-on foul mode here to finish up this basketball game to try to save some clock.
Next action here on the campus of Franklin County High School in Sam Blanham Hawkins Gymnasium. Lady Eagle basketball, January the 13th against Hidden Valley. Our next telecast will be on January the 14th as the Lady Eagles take on William Fleming. Our next boys basketball game will be on the 17th of January as Franklin County hosts William Byrd. And we're going to close out the season. Boys basketball on January 24th against Stanton River. Girls on the 28th against Northside, and the 31st of January against Lord Botetourt. February 4th, we're going to have the boys against William Fleming. That's going to be their senior night. And February the 7th, the girls will have their senior night against William Byrd. We also want you to mark your calendar for January the 31st, Friday night fights, as Franklin County will be playing host to Patrick Henry. They will match up on the mats. So that's going to set up a lot of Franklin County connections between not only the Eagle squad, but also those coaches over there at Patrick Henry. So last year, Friday night fights faced off Franklin County and Cave Spring. It's in the Ramsey Gym, Law Gym, excuse me. A lot of excitement. So we want you to go ahead and mark that one on your calendar.
Yeah, that sounds like a great time, no doubt about it. Anytime you can get over there in the Eagles' nest, with Franklin County Wrestling. And you mentioned a lot of ties to that PH Wrestling Club over there. So that will be so exciting.
As we reset here, 150 left to play in this one. 10-point lead for the Cavaliers. Good offensive board putback. Good effort there by Hudson. His 4th point. That's going to cut the lead to just 8. Franklin County will take the timeout. Those are the type possessions Franklin County needs. That's one of the first offensive boards they've picked up here in the second half, and it led to the putback. But you're going to have to do something here on the defensive end.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And Botetourt probably loosening up that defensive intensity just a little bit as not to foul and stop the clock and put Franklin County on the charity stripe here as they try to nurse this 8-point lead to the end of the game. That's what probably allowed that putback. The first putback I can remember here in the second half on an offensive possession for Franklin County as they try to get back into this ball game. Down 8. They'll come out of the timeout here, full court pressure as the Eagles are looking to set that up. We'll see if they'll can't get the steal. I imagine, Kevin, if they don't get the steal, they'll or immediately try to foul and stop the clock.
We reset, 144 left here in the ball game. Cavalier basketball, possession error in favor of Lord Botetourt, and both teams will be in the bonus from here on out. I think the Eagles will look to foul once they get into the front court. They go for the trap. Wide open Tanner Selkirk. He's going to drive, doesn't fall, but that offensive putback for the 15th point.
And you got what you wanted there. For some reason, Botetourt went to the basket. You know, maybe they had an open layup, but you had what you got there. You had what you wanted. A quick shot by Botetourt, and they missed it. You're just unable to clean it up. Arnholt there to put it back, and then they foul going the other way to put Franklin County at the stripe. So 10-point lead. Eagles got to take advantage of their opportunities here.
Front end of the 1-and-1 for Ziegler will fall. He now has 9 points. It is a 9-point lead.
First points of the second half for Ziegler.
10 points on the night. Cuts the lead to just 8, and Prince gets loose. And the Eagles will pick up the steal, but Stockton stepping on the baseline. We'll give it back to the Cavaliers. 76 seconds left in this one.
Yeah, Prince broke free. Nobody had him covered at all. Almost turned it over.
I think that Franklin County is going to be looking to foul here, down by 8 with just a minute to go. It's going to stay with the Cavaliers. 1:04 to be exact, Derek. And that clock is the biggest enemy of the Eagles at this point.
No doubt about it. As they'll get the ball into the backcourt to Selkirk. This young man, good handles. Eagles still trying to play defense and come up with a turnover.
They work it back inside to Arnholt. 50 seconds. Arnholt works it into the corner. He will turn it over. 23 seconds, though, escaping that clock.
See if it's too little too late. Eagles got to get down here and get the some points on the board quickly. With only 44 seconds remaining.
Offense for defensive substitutions here as Law and Kennedy check back in.
Botetourt laying back near half court. We'll see if the Eagles can get it close to midcourt before the clock starts. They will get it all the way across.
It's an 8-point lead here. A lot of contact off target by Kennedy. Jump ball possession arrow in favor of the Cavaliers.
Working it around for the shot they wanted, but sometimes, you know, you got to take one quick. Several open looks for Franklin County. They continued to work the ball around. 12 seconds off the clock there. Now only 32 seconds remaining.
So we're going to have substitutions here. A little bit of a discussion, making sure they got the jump ball correct. 32 seconds left in this one. 8-point lead for the Cavaliers. Get the foul call there with 25 seconds. And that will put Prince on the line. And that will be the ball game for Desmond Hudson. His 5th foul. He'll close out the night with 4 points.
Yeah, the Eagles are going to foul there. Why wait, until 12 seconds run off there? And I know you're playing good defense. You almost came away with a couple of steals there. Then had to foul as Botetourt was breaking free on the break.
Prince has 5 points on the night. That's off the back of the iron. Law pulls down the rebound. They're quickly off to the races. Kennedy's going to fire the 3, too strong there. Board pulled down by Tilley. Foul's going to be called. Looks like they're going to hit Bryce Witcher with his 1st.
The shots just stopped falling for Franklin County in the second half. So far only able to put 20 points on the board here after intermission.
On the line will be Connor Tilley. All 9 of his points coming from behind the arc, and it'll stay that way as we approach 10 seconds left to play in this ball game. Bryce Witcher pull-up jumper. That one doesn't fall. James Ryan Salvey comes away with the rebound. Long outlet pass to Tanner Selkirk, and that will wrap up this ball game. Lord Botetourt's going to take the win, 60-52. Derek, a little bit too late here for Franklin County. We had a 32-32 ball game at the half. That third quarter ended up being the difference in this one as Botetourt really put the points on the board.
Yeah, they were able to double up Franklin County 18-9 in that third quarter. And the adjustment they made at the half, they came out in that 2-3 zone in that third quarter, and it really gave the offense of Franklin County a lot of trouble. Never really solved that zone here in the second half as Botetourt able to stretch it out and pick up the win.
Quickly recapping our scoring first for the Cavaliers. Game high 15 points for Kyle Arnholt. Tanner Selkirk added 9. 12 points for Luke Hale, 4 for Matt Oliver, 6 for Mason Wheeling, 9 points for Connor Tilley, all of those behind the arc, and Owen Prince with 5. Then you flip it over, look at the Eagles. They were led by Richard Law with 10 and Tyshawn Ziegler with 10. Kalik Witcher added 8, 7 for Hunter Kennedy, 5 for Bryce Witcher. Mason Bowling had a single free throw. Desmond Hudson ended up with 4 points on the night, and Jacob Stockton added 5. It's going to wrap up our telecast here tonight. Again, we will be back in action right here with Lady Eagle basketball on January the 14th against the Lady Colonels of William Fleming High School. But our final score for the final time tonight, Lord Botetourt 60, Franklin County 52. You've been watching Eagle basketball right here on your neighborhood network, Cable 12.